Telling our stories is the connective tissue of the collective human experience. The Just Keep Talking podcast delves into the lives and stories of artists. What is the impact of mental health on creativity? What does it mean to be a creative individual? Someone who feels deeply, experiences joy and pain intensely, and navigates the challenges of life through the creative process. With each story shared, we explore the authentic experience of our basic need to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. We're really not so different from one another, nor are we alone. Together, we can inspire, encourage, and enlighten each other to find the true joy and fulfillment that is within ourselves. When we just keep talking, we create the space for gratitude, self-acceptance, and grace in everyday life. In a world filled with divisiveness, fostering inclusivity and connection is a powerful way to make a positive impact. The Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.
I wonder if there's anybody, I wonder if the John Cusack of drumming is around. Oh look, there's Brad Pemberton. Let's take a ride down to the easy plateau where the snow don't fall and the wind don't blow. Moonlight flickers on the waterfall, the orange grove blossoms and the orange grove. Bad nights lead to better days. Doesn't happen, but I think about it anyway. I want an easy plateau, someplace to rest my head.
Hello and welcome to the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters. Wow, my guest today is Brad Pemberton, a bad man you are. You're a drummer.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness, Brad Pemberton, thank you for having me in your home.
Oh, welcome.
I'm deeply
glad you're here.
Thank you so much, man. So you are world famous. I mean, you are a world famous man.
Locally known.
Locally known. So you are the drummer for the Cardinals, Ryan Adams and the Cardinals.
Yes.
For the heyday of a career that people would say are the favorite years for Ryan Adams, are amazingly successful years. You are my wife's God. I mean, she is like fangirl over you.
The feeling is mutual.
Oh, man.
Love Sarah, man.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for loving my wife. I really,
Absolutely.
I deeply
Yes.
appreciate that.
She's a badass. No, it's respect. Total.
So we met a few years ago, and it was on one of the Last Waltz shows.
That's right.
And you were playing drums, and I remember being like, wow, I can't wait to tell everybody I know that Brad Pemberton is playing drums and that I was invited to actually sing.
It was Life as a Carnival.
It was Life as a Carnival.
Yeah. You sang the shit out of it. Yeah.
Thank you. I remember getting yelled at because I was like, oh, the top of the song, we'll let it ride for a couple of measures. And the band leader, that was
John.
Yeah. John. What's John's last name?
Jackson.
Yeah, John Jackson.
Yeah.
John was like, "No, we're going right in like the record." And I know this. Like, I know what to do because I'm that guy who's like, no, we're playing the record. But I was, I guess I was just nerves.
Well, because
and I was exciting.
It's also that song in particular.
Oh, yeah.
It's got such a weird sort of everything's not sort of where it normally would be. You know, on the 2 and 4, everything's sort of swirling around there.
To this day, it is one of the hardest songs to play on drums. I play drums. I like to say I play drums, but my wife is a drummer, right? I started drums with my first instrument, and I just saw you play Life as a Carnival.
We did it the other night.
The other night at the Greasy Chicken Review, which is over at the East Side Bowl, the second Tuesday of every month. Matthew Slahekta puts it on. He's a daddy now.
He's a daddy. Yes.
Beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
And we watched in astonishment again. You did it again, Brad Pemberton. As the song starts, we don't know where the one is. Every drummer's counting, and every drummer counts and goes, "Oh, man, I'm not this time." And then luckily, the song goes on for a while, so we can start to count again. And then once the vocals come in, everybody goes, "Oh, this is where the one is."
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know where the one is?
Well, there's a YouTube video.
Okay.
Because when we did the last waltz, whatever that was, 4 or 5 years ago, I'd heard the song for most of my life, but never tried to play it. You know.
Yeah.
But there's a good YouTube video of Levon doing a drum clinic sometime back in the 90s at a drum shop or something.
Right.
And he breaks that song down. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay. So if you're ever curious about it, it's Levon Helm, Life is a Carnival. Google it. It'll come up. Yeah.
Have you ever met Levon?
No, man.
Had you ever?
Me, Catherine Popper, who played bass in the Cardinals. We had a day off in Rochester one day. And she rented a car. She's like, I'm going to Woodstock. You want to go? I'm like, yes. So we went to Woodstock. I'd never been before. And she goes, do you want to go to Levon's? I'm like, absolutely. I want to go. Yeah. Because she knew him. She had done a couple of rambles. She was friends with Amy, his daughter. Went to Levon's place. And he was recovering from cancer.
Right.
And he was asleep. His wife came to the door and was like, no, but you guys go ahead and make yourselves at home. So we went down to the barn, to the studio, checked it out, walked around.
Wow.
But yeah, never got to meet him.
Never met him. Wow.
That close.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that is beautiful up there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, up in Woodstock. Sarah Tomek, my wife, she just played there a couple of years ago with Joanne Shaw Taylor up at the farm.
Okay.
In the beautiful space, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you've been around the block a few years. You've done a few things. And speaking of Catherine Popper, I was just talking to my wife about this. So Catherine Popper was the bass player from what, 2004 to 2006?
Yes.
In the Cardinals,
yes.
right?
A few years, yeah.
Wikipedia is good like this.
Okay.
But she was just telling me that she did a record with Catherine Popper. My wife was on drums with Manolo Garcia.
Okay.
Who's like the Spanish Bruce Springsteen.
Wow.
The guy, I'd never heard of him, right? And he's España. And they did a record together, and they won a Grammy.
Wow.
They won the Spain Grammy.
Yeah.
Sarah went over there to tour, and it was a month-long tour. It was a few years ago. And I think there were only like 4 shows, like 4 stadiums, like bull riding stadiums,
Right.
Not like a New York Jets loser stadium that I'm used to. No, this is a winner stadium in Spain. And it was just beautiful, and we got to go over there and spend a little time. I love Spain, and it's phenomenal. But Sarah just loved working with Catherine Popper. She said, it was just,
man, she's the best. Love her to death. Funny. Talented. I can't say enough good things about Cap. She's a fantastic lady.
Are you guys still in touch?
Absolutely. We talked just last time was a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And are you in touch with the other Cardinals bandmates?
Well, a couple of them are dead.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Still, but I'm in touch with them too. Still talk to them.
Yeah.
I do. John Graboff, we talked just a week or so ago. Yeah, right after Thanksgiving.
To be quite honest, I wasn't up on all of the Cardinals and Ryan Adams. I know some of the songs, and I'm aware of it, and I've heard stuff, and I've listened to records and all. But the deep dive that I got to do in the last couple of days, I love that you're a band guy. When I read about it and I see some footage and all that, it just sounds like you and Ryan obviously put something together that is just so beautiful. And
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, and as a drummer, that was something that was so important to me, to link up with somebody that did what I didn't do, which was, stand up front, write these songs on guitar. We wrote things together. We always wrote songs together. But I was the drummer. That's what I did. 10 years old, I saw drums. I love drums, And then as the drummer, everything comes to your house. The drums are at the house. The PA comes to the house, and you become the cat.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so cool that you put a band together that ended up affecting so many people.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man.
And and you weren't 10 years old. You were an adult.
Yeah.
Age-wise. Age-wise, I'll say.
I've always been a band guy. If I could have been in one band my whole life, that would have been great. I mean, unfortunately, I've been in several great bands, But I've always had that band mentality, sort of us against the world, whatever, I like that position, But you're right, I can go and I could play in front of 100,000 people.
Right.
I wouldn't think twice about it. But put me in a room in front of a microphone with 20 people in it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, really?
You know,
Yeah.
just like speaking would be, you know, I mean, I could do it, but singing?
Yeah. Right.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
You know, at least with drums, I got my little shield around me, and you know, it's a weird, beautiful place to be in.
Well, was it an envious place to be? Because you were there first, right? I mean, it was you and Ryan, the Cardinals. I mean, you were other bands, you were other iterations before the Cardinals, right?
With Ryan, yeah.
With Ryan, right? And you opened up for the Rolling Stones.
We did.
I mean, and that wasn't the Cardinals, right?
Correct. Yeah, that was.
That was just the other band.
There was 3 or 4 different names. There was the Pink Hearts. There was Sweetheart Revolution. There was LAX. I can't remember what we were that week, but same band.
Right.
I mean, same members pretty much through all of it.
Right.
You know?
So what was it like for you and Ryan to connect like that way? Because I just got back in touch with my old first partner in music band. And he's on Long Island in New York. He's sober, and he has a new lease on life. We're 54 years old. Yeah. He's like, yo, La, I got these songs, La. I'm telling you, La, I got songs. And I'm like, Brian, let's do it. Great. But I remember the feeling of being able to express myself musically with a partner for the first time. And ever since that time has been my life and love, is to have a partner that I can connect with musically. Like, how did it happen that you and Ryan, because you kind of both hit the jackpot. He got you and you got him.
Yeah.
That's a jackpot.
Yeah.
What was it like just to be like,
man, it was the first time we met. I was playing with Billy Mercer and I, bass player.
Yeah.
We're playing in probably half a dozen or more bands here in town.
In Nashville.
Songwriters, you know, whoever. Kim Ritchie, Nick Kane, Brian Waldschlager. We had a band called Stateside, another band called Cranky.
Yeah.
I mean, just whoever. You know, you need a rhythm section, your guys. We had a rehearsal space over here. People just come to us.
Yeah.
You know. But we were playing at 12th and Porter, and after the show, Billy came up. He said, "Hey, man, Ryan Adams wants to meet you."
And did you know who that was?
I had no idea. Right. No, that's what I said. I said, "Who's that?" And he goes,
"You're like Brian Adams, the summer of '69, really?"
But Billy said, he goes, "He's the guy from Whiskey Town," which I had heard. I'd only seen their name because my old band Iodine back in the '90s played the same clubs, you know, around in the South or whatever, Midwest, that they were playing. So I saw the name. It was like, you know, it's a horrible name, but
Whiskey Town, yeah.
But
that sounds like a name that would be like now.
But that's all that's all I knew about him. We met, hung out that night, and the next day we went over to our rehearsal space, and he had these songs that were like sound like the fucking Replacements.
Yeah,
and it's like,
what a cool band, the Replacements.
Oh, one of my favorites. And I was like, well, now we're talking. You know, like this is my speed. This is, you know, and I had no idea about, you know, I think Heartbreaker, his first solo record, was out at that point.
Yeah.
This was, you know, well, it wasn't pre-internet, but pre-internet for me. Anyway, It's just 2000. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have an email address. I didn't, you know, whatever. So finally, when I heard that stuff, I'm like, wow, this is totally different. And so we sort of did that, the Pink Hearts thing, the rock thing. He made Gold not long after that. And about the time that was about to come out, he needed a band to tour. And when he asked me to tour, I'm like, and I heard that record, and I was like, I don't know if I'm your guy.
Really?
Know?
Why?
Because up until that point, for the most part, I was just playing a rock band. I mean, Iodine was a 3-piece, you know, no holds barred rock band, you know, and I was still in my late 20s, I guess, early 30s. And I was like, I just don't know if I'm this. I've never played like this, not for a whole, you know.
When you say like this, what does that mean?
Like restrained, country songwriter, which I can do now in my sleep. You know, it's more what I do now. I have done in the last 35 years, 25 years at least. But up until that point, it was new territory for me. But Ryan's like, you'll be fine. Just do it. And as it turned out, we weren't playing those songs on the record anything like they were recorded. We were playing them as if we were the rock band. We were like the Faces.
Yeah.
It's me, Billy, Ryan, Brad Rice, Bucky Baxter, and Danny Eisenberg on keys. And man, it was like the Faces in more ways than one. But it was a blast.
Yeah.
And I got to do I toured in a van for most of all the 90s pretty much.
Yeah.
But never been on a bus. Certainly never went to Europe and Australia. This is like dream come true. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
But then that ended briefly, and in that time we came back with the Cardinals a year or so later.
Right. The year or so later. In between that period of time, how many records did Ryan write and release?
Four or five.
I am absolutely astounded. Yeah. I knew that there's a large catalog, but when I just read the timeline of your career and the timeline of Ryan Adams and the other folks that were in and out of the Cardinals, I'm like, wait a minute. How many albums in how many years? It's incredible. Yeah. And what I find really cool and amazing, and I want to ask you about, is that you're a co-writer. The band are writers on so much of the material. So did you sit and did Ryan come in with an idea and you guys wrote it together? Did you arrange it together? Are you a writer? You are, because it says you are.
It says I am, yeah. There was some songs that me or Kat or all of us collectively certainly had input.
Yeah.
I think Let It Ride. I think the first verse or first stanza of the verse is mine.
Right.
Then, we sort of did like that on a few. And I'll say that I've said this before. Those songs would have gotten written with or without me or anybody else in the band, for that matter.
But they wouldn't have been those songs.
Maybe not exactly, but Ryan certainly had the idea. May just needed a nudge this way or that way.
Sure.
But he's very generous that way. He was always, he always jokes what am I going to do? Buy a yacht? He liked his comic books. I think later years it became pinball machines, but
wow,
he was always generous with that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So it was always very much of an open. It sounds like a very open space.
Well,
creatively, it sounds like you have enough confidence that you were there. You were in a band together where it was like everybody pitch in, do their part. Let's make this as great, us against the world.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
My wife's favorite song of yours is Two. Meaning you wrote a song called Two that was off it's a solo record, Easy Tiger, but the Cardinals played on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, 100%.
Yep.
And I was talking to Sarah, she's like, the song Two is my favorite, and it happens to be one that the two of you wrote together. That's it, nobody else. So did you sit in a room together? How did that come about?
Yeah, we were working at Electric Lady.
Wow.
We did a few records there.
Yeah.
He lived one block over on 9th Street, at the time. We did we recorded probably 70 or 80 songs. And it was like he had that room, the B room back in the back, blocked out for 3 months.
Yeah.
And in that time, it was probably 70, 80 songs recorded.
Right.
And that was one of them.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't really a lot of them came fast and furious, and at the time I didn't know if we had a title for it. So I can't really, it was hazy, not because of drugs or alcohol necessarily. Right. I mean, that was, maybe involved, it was around, but it was more the pace, it was like, holy shit, man, this is just you can't keep up, challenging, but I can't specifically. I don't really recall.
Yeah, well, let me recall for you.
Okay,
just a little bit from it is I got a really good heart. I just can't catch a break. If I could, I'd treat you like you wanted me to. I promise. I'm fractured from the fall, and I want to go home. But it takes two when it used to take one. It takes two when it used to take one. And I've heard this song a lot, and I didn't realize how heavy it was for me until I listened to it a couple of hours ago. And it's a beautiful song.
Thanks.
It's so simple. Yeah. It's just a couple of stanzas, and it says so much.
Yeah.
And then I just start digging through more of the catalog, and I'm like, simple, and yet deep, and because it's intent. It's intention.
Yeah.
We're not just throwing stuff away. The guy wrote 1 billion songs.
1 billion.
You guys really were in there working hard. Did you enjoy the pace like that? Because a lot of bands make fun. I know that the Beatles themselves, they would be like, oh, God, Paul is on the phone again. He wants to make another record. Why can't we just hang out and enjoy our lives?
Right.
Could you imagine?
Right.
Don't pick up the phone. Forget it. Was that like that?
Man, it was, when I was a kid, teenager, all I wanted to do was make a record.
Yeah.
A record. And by the time I was in my early mid-20s, I had made a record.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, so all I want to do is make more records. So being in the studio, working like that, in New York, Electric Lady, Clash made records, like Zeppelin, like, absolutely. Let's do this. Let's stay in here all year. Yeah. I love it. The studio is probably my favorite space to be in because it's creative. It's fun.
Yeah.
Depends
who you work with.
And I get to go home and sleep in my bed every night.
So were you living in New York for a long period of time?
No,
or
I never lived in New York.
Never.
The whole band lived in New York. Most of the crew lived in New York.
Right.
I was always in Nashville.
Yeah, native.
But I went back. I stayed there. I'd go, sometimes I have a hotel. There's a place, great hotel, Park something. It was on 27th between Park and Lexington. Great hotel.
Yeah.
Quiet, it's on the street. Stay there a bunch. For like weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Occasionally they get me in like a long or short-term apartment rental, somewhere in the city.
Did you guys like gig quietly in New York to sort of work out stuff at all? Like,
no.
Did you, like show up at the bitter end or something, or back
No.
in the day? Gosh,
No, and usually
Brown's was open back then, and
no, we
like a little club.
I don't think we ever did that in New York, just because, like, if we're in the studio. Why would we go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Electric Lady and Loho, which it's not there anymore. It's down on Clinton Street, Lower East Side. That's where we did Cold Roses, Jacksonville, the Willie Nelson record.
Yeah.
There's a Minnie Driver record we did there.
Yeah, the actress, right? Am I crazy? Because I remember when she had a music career.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there, man. I'm from New York. Except I wasn't doing that. I was running around as Bob Brother Love, singing all that, and that was fun.
Yeah.
What was it like with Willie Nelson? Because I was reading a little bit, and I think he wasn't necessarily used to having a recording session in New York City, the city, and B, like a band that's just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Like he's sort of used to being like, all right, I go in, the tracks are there, let me do my thing, do a few takes, you guys got it, let's go.
Yeah, it was Lost Highway Records.
Yeah.
Both Ryan and Willie were on that label at the time.
Yeah.
This is after the Jack White Loretta thing, I believe, and they figured, we should do that. Pair them, good on paper, I think.
Yeah.
Personality-wise, I think some clashes.
Right.
I don't think that's on Willie as much as maybe Ryan, but whatever. I mean, shit, for us, it was great.
Yeah.
Make a record with Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
But it was also, I think our call time in the studio was 9 p.m.
Was that because of Ryan or because of Willie or because of you?
No one had nothing to do with me. Oh, no.
That's Trevor, man. He can't
I was
get up.
left out of those decisions.
Nah.
I'm not really sure. Yeah. I don't think it was Willie 100%. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But even though call time was 9 p.m.,
right.
sometimes Willie's bus wouldn't roll up in front of the studio till midnight.
Right.
1 a.m. And then sometimes he'd sit on the bus for another 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'd be 2, almost 3 in the morning before we'd actually start rolling tape. And it was over several sessions. We did that, When the record came out, let's put it this way, I was surprised that there was enough material there.
Really?
To have a full record. Yeah.
Wow.
I think a lot of it was sort of cobbled together,
right.
But we did a song at Greasy Chicken last week, Stella Blues,
a
Grateful Dead song, which Willie had done on that record. And I listened to that version of it, and I was like, there's some good stuff. Like, I think having been there, that clouds my judgment a bit, the making of it. Whereas, like, the final results, like, it's fine. There's warts and all on it, but that was the way most of our records were. Well,
I liked reading the fact that Ryan Adams was saying he really wanted to produce the record, the Willie Nelson record, and a lot of it was so that nobody could mess with your guys' sound. I'm going to bring the band in, the Cardinals, and we're going to be who we are. And you guys are so greased up at this point.
And the sessions were sometimes weeks, a month or so apart.
Right.
We'd do a little bit, then 3 or 4 weeks later, we'd get back together and do a few more days of that. And then I think at some point, Ryan quit or was fired as producer. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. So, like I said, when the record did finally come out a year later, I'm like, oh. Surprise, surprise.
So what was your headspace like back then? On paper, you're riding high, you're on top of the world. Ryan Adams and the Cardinals are successful. You guys are playing big places. You're on tour. You're on Willie Nelson records. This big actress, Minnie Driver. You're doing her records. Where was your headspace, like looking back, who was Brad Pemberton back then in the mid-2000s?
Man, I'd just gotten married,
Marna.
To Marna.
Yeah.
look, I mean, all through the 90s, to the late 80s, and all through the 90s, I played in bands, had a great band called Iodine.
Yeah.
Which, we were in a van for 7-8 years, just touring, made a couple great records, learned a lot. That whole time I was doing that, I was working at bars here in Nashville as a bar back or a bartender. And I did that for, 8 or 9 years, and all through my 20s. But all through that time, it was so I wanted to make records. I wanted to play with Willie Nelson. I mean, that wasn't ever on my radar, but I mean, my bucket list. But I just knew I didn't want to do this the rest of I didn't want to be a bartender.
Yeah.
I didn't, it's like, and I didn't think I was going to. I was like, this is just a means to an end. I got to pay the rent somehow, So just work my ass off while I can,
Yeah.
And finally in my 30s, that sort of, it all paid off. So I didn't feel like I didn't deserve it because I felt like I did. I'm like, shit, man, I've worked my ass off for this very thing. So bring it on, more of it.
Yeah.
But I've said for years, I'm the Forrest Gump of rock and roll.
Why is that?
Well, because, I mean, I went from bartending, doing all that stuff to almost overnight, within a matter of months.
Yeah.
We were on Letterman, we were on Leno, we were on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
We were playing with Elton John, multiple times with Elton John. We did a CMT Crossroads with Elton. We opened for Oasis, opened for the Stones.
Yeah.
And then as years went on, like up until, recently, like I played with Springsteen, with Steve Earle at the Keswell benefit for John Henry's school, Steve's son. Graham Nash, like when the Cardinals 2.0 a few years ago that we revived for the summer.
Was that 2023? Mm-hmm. The Cardinals revived.
Don was playing. Like it was like man,
bananas.
It's banana, and like I'm saying, I just sort of blindly walked backwards into just so many great situations that at some point years ago, I just stopped questioning it and just let it come.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because you just never know. Like you just never quit, never give up. Because like man, you never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've quit in my head many times.
Yeah.
Swear to God, like several times when I've been like, all right, man, this is it. Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Like within 12 hours,
wow.
The phone will ring.
Really?
That happened with Steve Earle.
Okay. When you say I quit, I'm out. Is it because I'm not working or I just don't like music anymore? I'm not inspired.
All of the above, and I'm broke. I've got to go find a job. I got to get some work, man.
So that's been a part of your world since the success.
It's a part, of course. Yeah, it's a part of I think of all it. Like
well, I know for me, for sure.
Yeah, man. Dan Baird has a famous quote.
Yeah.
The music business is snack or famine.
Yes.
Never a feast.
Nope. That's right.
Enjoy the snacks.
Yeah.
And that's Dan Baird.
That's great.
It's a great saying. It's true. So you just sort of sometimes get like, man, nothing's happening. And the Steve gig, it was. There have been a couple of years. I played Brendan Benson for a while.
Right. But Brendan Benson, he's the guy, was he Raconteurs?
He was in Raconteurs,
yeah. He's such a bad dude.
He's great, man.
He's just great.
Yeah.
And then the Steve Earle, so I was listening down to things that I had never heard before. Steve Earle and the Dukes, right? You did 2 records. So You Want to Be an Outlaw in 2017 and Guy in 2019. Now,
there's a few more, actually.
You did a few more. Oh, really?
Yeah, well, 3 more.
Wikipedia's got a...
I think there's 5 records we did.
You did that many records. So how many years with Steve Earle?
7.
7 years. And from when to when?
I was hired in late 2015.
Right.
And March of 23 was my last gig with him.
Wow.
Outlaw Cruise.
Outlaw Cruise.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You work with some, let's say, colorful and interesting people.
Yes.
That a lot of times things get in the way of the creativity and, life and oddness and behavioral stuff. I don't even know what's a nicer way of saying it. Ryan Adams has had his share of issues. Steve Earle, his share of issues. And you're the cat sitting behind the kit driving the ship. Do you stay longer than you should have stayed in a few instances in your life?
I don't think so. Certainly not with Steve.
Right.
That was more my parents were dying. Marna's parents were dying, and I couldn't be gone anymore. I got to be here for them.
Yeah.
There was times, and certainly with Ryan, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. What am I doing? But
you're in a band together. He's your brother.
Yes,
your brother.
And that's why when it came back around a few years ago, do you want to do this? I'm like, let's just see what's there. Let's just see. I got to see one last look.
Yeah.
And that was fine. And I think the door can be closed on that,
right,
for good. But it was great. It was what it was. It served its purpose, scratched that itch, and I think I was there just long enough in most cases.
That's great. Yeah. To hear back from Ryan, have you not heard from him in a long time when all of a sudden the Cardinals were...
No, we hadn't spoken. It had been about 9 years.
You hadn't spoken in 9 years?
Neil Casal, when he died.
Yeah.
That was in August of 19. I was on the road with Steve when he died, when I got the news.
Yeah.
That night after the show, we were somewhere in Georgia, I think Atlanta, and I was up. I'd always sit up with the bus driver late at night, and I would smoke out the window. And it's 3 a.m. probably, and my phone rang.
Right.
And it was unknown number, but it was a L.A. area code.
Right.
I'm like, at 3 a.m. too, it's like, I had a feeling I knew who it was. And so I answered, and sure enough, it was him. And that sort of began a couple-year conversation we had. Really? Yeah, we may go weeks or a month or two without talking, but then we talked some more.
Yeah.
And sort of worked out some shit that I was pissed off at him about, and some shit he was pissed off at me about, whatever.
Brother stuff.
Yeah. And at the end of that, it was into the pandemic, too, so there was time to do a lot of that. And so the way it sort of had ended was like, I don't know if we'll ever play again, and that's fine, but at least I'm not pissed off at him anymore.
That's great.
Because it's a horrible thing to carry around.
Yeah.
For anybody, for any reason. And it stresses you. I didn't realize, when I finally, forgave him, and he forgave me, whatever, we settled our shit. I remember exhaling.
Wow.
And just going and physically feeling the stress leave my body, going, it's over. And I felt man, what a dumbass for being pissed off about stupid shit to begin with.
Yeah.
But carrying it around for years, this is no good.
Yeah.
So if nothing, I learned that lesson from it. But then a year or so later, he had offers from promoters about the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
And look, I've got stories for days. I could write a book.
Yeah.
But don't really feel the need to reveal any of that stuff. But way more good than bad.
Yeah.
By a long shot, by a mile. You know what I mean? It was a great time in my life. And it also, and I'm not oblivious to this, if it wasn't for that, I don't know what the last 15 years of my life would have looked like since I stopped playing with Ryan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I continued, and I think because of those years I spent, continued to build on my career, keep working, basically.
Yeah.
And just keep this going for as long as I can physically.
Yeah. Were you guys, were you a big partier? Did that take over a lot of your life?
No.
What was your relationship to the lifestyle of the rock and roll lifestyle?
I have a good Willie Nelson story from making that record.
Okay.
Willie and I share some common interests.
Right.
Cannabis,
Weed, marijuana.
Cannabis being one. Yeah. And so I had this joint rolled, and we're sitting, Willie and I, we're all in the same room, but Willie and I are maybe twice the distance apart that you and I are now.
Right.
So maybe
Close.
6-7 feet. I got a bass drum in front of me.
Yeah.
A few feet, he's sitting in a chair. We're facing each other.
Uh-huh.
We've been working for an hour or so, and he's like, I need to take a break. And he had all his joints lined up on a music stand.
Are they different joints? This is...
I don't think so. I don't think
this
so.
This is a before song. This is how we finish the song.
I think
this is a bridge. I'm having trouble with the bridge. Give me that joint over there.
I think whatever Willie weed is whatever weed Willie's got at the time.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad. But I had some really good New York sour diesel from the Bronx or whatever,
I know it well, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure. So he goes, I need to take a break. So a few people leave the room, and he lights up his joint, and I rolled the joint of that sour diesel. So I lit it up, took a big pull, blew a big cloud of smoke right at him. And he's like, that smells pretty good.
Yeah.
And he goes, you want to trade? I was like, sure. So leaned over the bass drum.
Yeah.
We swapped joints. Danny Clinch was in the room, and I heard a click, and I've gotten in touch with Danny since then. I'm like, man, see if you can find a photo.
Yeah.
Because he took one, but he can't find it or whatever. It's lost now. So anyways, he took my joint and took a big drag off it. He liked it, smiled, and he goes, you mind if I keep this? I'm like, oh, of course. Keep it. Go ahead.
Wow.
But no. So aside from that, no. I mean, obviously.
You drank? Or did you not drink? Was drinking a thing for you?
Yeah, but it was never, I just didn't thankfully have that gene, that whatever, that thing.
Yeah.
I still like a good bourbon every now and then, know. And look, I have lost many friends to drugs, One was celebrated a couple of days ago, Chris Feinstein, That was 16 years ago,
Yeah.
So if I had any inclination before then, once he died, I've steered clear.
Yeah.
Certainly of, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the harder stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's going to get you.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It's going to get you.
What about your headspace, over the years? Mentally, your health. I mean, you're riding high, right? The Cardinals, and then it ends, right? I mean, he just says, forget it. He quits, right? I mean, that's like...
Yeah, it was...
And you guys went on and did your own thing as a band.
We did a record.
You did a record.
With an artist named Jen Wigmore.
Yes, I love that record.
It's a great record.
It's a great record. And I love Jen Wigmore. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. Yeah. And I listened to that record. I'm like, oh. And once again, I'm like, this is you. And I'm like, listening. I'm like, yep, that's Brad Pemberton.
Yeah. Again, like this Forrest Gump. John Grayboff, pedal steel player in the Cardinals, was friends with the guy who ran Universal Music Australia. And we went to Australia right after we found out Ryan was dissolving the Cardinals.
Did he call you personally and just say, hey guys, I'm out?
It was an in-person conversation. And not that we didn't believe it, but it was just sort of like okay, whatever. Nobody was too devastated. Seemingly, maybe we were all ready for a break anyways. Yeah.
Right. I read that you said something like, hey, man, go get married. Go have a life. Go make a family. Like, you were very much protective of your friend and bandmate.
Go do normal shit. But that's maybe impossible for him.
This is somebody that writes like 1,000 songs an hour, it sounds like. Go normal stuff. Like
there's what normal would be to me is not normal to him, And that's another thing I had to understand. Like, there's my normal, his normal. Most people's normal is way different than his.
Yeah. Did you get down in the dumps about it or not? I mean, look, you're riding high. You're young still.
Dude, that was the easiest band break because what happened was that was January, February, maybe March. We did a string of shows in the U.S.
Yeah.
And we ended. So like March, I think, of
2009.
You're
welcome.
We did the Jen Wigmore record like in May of 2009, I believe. And then in July or August, got a call from Brendan Benson's manager at the time and seeing if I was available to do Letterman with him. I'm like, absolutely.
You're like, I know my way in.
Yes.
Dave knows me.
Yes. And there's some dates around that as well. And it was like hardly missed a beat. And I did that, played with Brendan for a couple of years. He kept me busy most of 2011 over at this Welcome to 1979 studio.
Yeah.
Because he produced, I don't know, 3 or 4 records at least over there that year.
That was a cool studio.
Great studio.
Yeah. Good people.
Again, like I think at that point, what I was saying earlier about I stopped questioning good things happening and just like, man, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, that was already my mindset. So I never got down or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe after the Brendan thing and the couple-year gap before I started playing with Steve Earle.
A couple of years in there. Yeah.
A couple of years. And I was doing stuff in town, doing some sessions, whatever. But I'm a band guy. I like having at least that foundation, that security blanket of a band, And that was one of those times when I was probably like, all right, fuck it. I'm out. Going to find something else to do, which maybe wasn't really the truth, but at least I'm just like, I'm frustrated, I'm telling the universe that, like, all right, I'm going to quit. I'm going to do it,
I'll show you.
And then the phone rings.
Yeah. You seem to me to be a very protective sort when it comes to band people, like your band leader. I hate to say band leader. You were in a band with Ryan Adams.
He was a band leader.
Is that okay to say? Because,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking to Sarah Tomek, my wife. She's been on tour with Andy Bell, who's the lead singer of the band Erasure.
Yes.
Which a lot of people don't know. I mean, our age, we do know. You're a few years older than me, but not by much. And it's joyful music. It's a beautiful concert. It's gooey pop, and it's so cool to see her like in this setting because she's been on the blues circuit for like years. She's like, everybody's so happy. I'm like, yeah, you've been playing the blues for 5 freaking years.
Everybody's bummed out.
Everybody's bummed out. But she said something about taking care of and looking after Andy Bell while they were out on this last run. And it reminded me of every situation that she's been in. She's the drummer. She's very often like the tour manager or the band leader, or she just has this something about her. And I feel like I've done the same thing, being the drummer.
I think it's a drummer thing.
Yeah, because I've heard you talk about this, and I feel like you're a protector of Ryan. Like we're friends, we're pals.
Yeah.
I'm a protector. I don't know about Steve Earle necessarily, but
yeah, absolutely, I'm a protector of Steve. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like
what is it about us people?
Because like it or not, some may disagree with me, but the lead singer has the hardest job on stage.
Yeah.
The drummer has a second.
Yeah.
Physically, maybe the first, but physically, the lead singer also, especially if they're playing guitar as well.
Yeah.
That's physical, man. Singing, like I'm in awe of singing, like yourself, like great, like blows my mind. And not only that, you've also got the attention of the audience on you, primarily. So that's the hardest job on stage. And me having the second hardest job, I want to protect the general. He's leading, and if he's having a bad night or she's having a bad night, we all are. Yeah. And if they're having a great night, we all are. You know what I mean?
Sarah was like that with Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
We would be out, and there was a connection. There was a bond. And she, like, downplays it a little bit. I'm like, I saw the bond,
right.
Yeah. And maybe, he's in his world, and, he's a super-duper star, right? Because what I see in him through her is a band guy just like you and I.
Yeah.
I literally would just see it. He'd be like, man, come on, let's go. And he'd pick up the guitars and he'd go in and like you're at rehearsal and you're like, yeah, let's go. Yay. Yeah. And I've seen her do this with every artist that she works with. And sometimes to the detriment where you get close and you feel protected of this person. And then if things don't work out or the person becomes somebody that you don't want to protect anymore. You're like, oh my goodness, the hell with this person.
I'm out.
I'm out, I mean, like it's not all, roses and all that.
Right.
But I find it very admirable. You're sitting behind, you're on the throne, and you're guiding the ship, but you're very protective of the people that are there.
And everybody on the stage. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's us against the world. Like whether it was me playing with Steve or Ryan, or when I was in a van with Chris and Jay and Iodine. And that was us against the world because we're a bunch of broadcast musicians touring around in an '84 Ford Econoline playing to 8 people sometimes. Yeah, builds character.
So your drumming amongst drummers is incredible.
No.
You are, and I called you this the other night because we were able to play together at the Greasy Chicken review. We did Boston Rag.
That's right.
Right, a Steely Dan song.
That's right. First time I've ever played a Steely Dan song.
Wow. Yeah. I've done that song like a couple times before, and it was a mixtape version of the Greasy Chicken review, so there were songs that were repeated from the past year, and I was like, oh, great, I know it enough, and you're on drums. Wow. And we've done things together before, and I called you this afterwards. You are Mr. Heels. Ladies and gentlemen, this drummer here in front of you are Mr. Heels.
Mr. Heels.
And I'll tell you what, I don't want to get yelled at by Steve Earle for saying this, but he's welcome to yell at me if he wants. Because I was listening to track 1, So You Want to Be an Outlaw, 2017, and half of that band is ahead of you, man. You are Heels. You are not letting go. You are right on point, and you have the magical way of bringing it right back to where I have to ask myself who's speeding up and who's slowing down and who's staying right where they are. And I've been around enough to know you're right there the whole time.
Thanks, man.
I am so appreciative of that. You're Mr. Heels.
I love that.
It's amazing. You're drumming, like you said. So you came up, you're a rock guy. And I have seen you, Brad Pemberton. I have seen you play. You have intention. You are mindful of the song. You understand dynamics. And then I have seen you hit a cymbal with all of the force and ferocity. Like you're hitting it in Madison Square Garden, and it is the loudest end of a show. I can see the arena exploding as you hit it because I see the look on your face, and I see a 10-year-old just right, hitting this damn thing because that's what it needed right then, and then pull it right back and finish the song. And I'm enamored by your playing.
Well, thanks, man. Wow, that's high praise, man. I think that I'm always a rock drummer at heart. That's just when I started. Like that, I wasn't listening to fucking Graham Parsons records. When I was listening to Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and AC/DC, and punk rock and, like loud, fast, whatever, nothing like country music I couldn't give two shits about. My mom worked at ASCAP. So she'd bring home country records and, ASCAP writers or whatever and be like, that's great, Mom. I'll be in my bedroom with my headphones on, you know.
That's great.
But, having stayed in Nashville, never left, grew up here, you either choose to, learn this world. And when you say country music, it's more like just a singer-songwriter vibe.
Yes.
Because they don't want big drums. They don't want loud drums. They want...
Tell that to a lot of drummers.
They don't want a bunch of fill. They want to keep time and serve the song, serve the singer, you know. And once I learned that, it's like, okay, But you're right. Like I still, even if I'm doing that, at some point I'm going to be like, this kid's still in here too, and bring that to the table as well.
Yeah. So where are you at these days? Where are things now? You've touched upon a little bit. You and your wife Marna. You've had a loss. Your parents.
Yeah, all four parents in the last couple of years.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, man. We're doing okay. Like it's behind us now. Like first time in our lives we don't have any parents.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling, But I've been off the road for a little over 2 years now.
Yeah. And how is that for you?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it. I'm 50. I'll be 57 this next year in August, and have been on the road pretty much since I was 19.
Yeah.
And I love it. I wouldn't trade those years for anything. But I just don't know if I want to be on the road anymore. Yeah. And now look, if something great came along, never say never.
Right. He's quitting again. They're like, right. The Angels are like, wait, Brad's quitting again. Hold on.
Bring.
Yeah. Conan O'Brien is putting a band together. He needs a tall drummer.
I'm trying just to work more in town.
Yeah.
And playing, like, I played more locally in town the last 2 years than I have in the last 20 combined, probably.
Yeah.
Just because I still love to play live. I still love playing with people, trying to do as much session work as I can, but just enjoying. I've missed so much in 35 years, relationships, weddings, funerals, dinners with friends, shit that, you take for granted. But once friends start dying and like, we're going to a funeral tomorrow for Raul. I'm getting to the point in my life where it's like, man, I've got more behind me than I do ahead of me for sure.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to miss any. I've missed plenty. I just don't want to miss anymore. So I just want to be here, be with my wife, and just be with my friends. And just enjoy the rest of what years I got left,
Absolutely.
Hopefully, which are many. But, you never know, man. You never know. Enjoy every sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have a few questions. My speed round.
Go for it.
Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Big time stuff. What fascinates you?
Oh, wow. I'm a big history buff.
Me too.
I love history. I love be it American history, Roman history.
Are you in a deep dive at all these days where you're involved there in a certain era or period of time or historical reference?
Well, I just recently watched the Ken Burns American Revolution series last month, I think.
I was watching that too. I had to put it away for a minute because it felt like school for a while. I needed a little bit of a brain dead, numbing type of before bed type of thing because I was like, I'm learning so much.
Right.
This is too much learning. I got to dumb it down. Give me Laverne and Shirley for 10 minutes. Let me go to bed in peace. I loved it though. Ken Burns.
But like Civil War history. I mean, just in my backyard, I find the street I'm living on was named after a Confederate general.
Yeah, I know. I never turned onto a general street before.
We found during the pandemic, some friends of ours have metal detectors.
Oh yeah,
and they brought them over and found there's little Civil War mini balls, little bullets.
Wow.
Found a horseshoe.
What?
Still had nails in it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's fascinating just because it's in my yard.
Yeah.
Wow, this shit was going on right here,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Reggae music. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. It's all I listen to, really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I still got my favorite, rock records. But like just on any given day, like if I'm sitting out here playing backgammon, there's probably going to be like Toots and the Maytals record playing, or just random, old school reggae, ska.
Yeah,
music,
man. That's so cool.
Love the horns, all that. Yeah.
That's great. Talk about heels, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Man. That's great.
Yeah.
The space that's in that music is like...
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, what angers you? What pisses you off?
Trump.
Yeah.
But we don't have to go down that road. I think that's probably common with most of your listeners. But politics in general, like both sides are fucked, I think, and that may be part of why I've been digging into the American Revolution and all that, because we could lose it. We could lose it real easily. Hopefully we won't. Yeah. But other than that, man, I try not to let too much get under my skin. Even now, like I stopped watching the news over a year ago.
I haven't given up watching it. I just feel like I need to be informed, just so that I get more angry at the people who aren't informed. I go, wow, you're so much happier.
Yeah.
That ignorance that you have is it looks so blissful. Wow, maybe I should just try that. All right, well, what brings you joy?
My wife. My friends, my dogs, sitting, hanging out with people like yourself, chatting, We're going to play some backgammon, hopefully at some point.
Yes,
together.
We will. You're going to teach me backgammon.
Yes, I will.
I can't wait. All right, if you had a magic wand and you could fix anything or change it to your liking, the way you would like it to be, what would it be?
God, man. That's
oh, yeah, this is heavy stuff here, the Just Keep Talking podcast.
Wow, I don't know.
Magic wand.
Everybody just get along, man.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
Not to sound too hippie about it, but damn, like that really is what it all boils down to at the end of the day, Yeah. So
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Everybody just get along. Yeah. Everybody have food on the table, roof over their head, and love in their heart.
Got it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew you weren't a lunatic.
Over.
Right on.
Yeah. Under.
Right?
This is crazy.
Exactly.
Psychotic.
Yeah. Brad Pemberton, famous drummer. Thank you so much for being on this show.
Thank you, Larry, for having me, man.
Man, it's great to get to know you. I can't wait to learn backgammon, and I'm inviting myself over many, many more times. Thank you so much.
You're
Brad
welcome.
Pemberton, famous drummer. He's made his bones with the Cardinals and Ryan Adams, Steve Earle, and more. This cat is around town, Nashville, playing. He's part of our community, the fabric of what makes Nashville such a beautiful place. I thank you for being on the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks, brother.
You can personally support this show simply by clicking the tip link in the show notes. The Just Keep Talking podcast is now available on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Visit our website at justkeeptalking.com, our YouTube channel at Just Keep Talking Podcast, and Instagram at The Just Keep Talking Podcast. We all just want to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. Thank you so much for supporting my mission and the Just Keep Talking Podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.